Told her to do that as well, was it?
Order. Order. Question number 5, Mark Mitchell.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister for Economic Development. How is the government encouraging investment, tourism and job growth in Auckland?
Honourable Stephen Joyce.
The government is working hard in many ways to encourage investment in jobs and growth. Yesterday morning, I announced the government has signed a heads of agreement with Sky City to build a $402 million international-sized convention centre in Auckland. An international convention centre will enable Auckland and New Zealand to tap into the lucrative convention centre market, attracting an estimated 33,000 conference delegates each year and significant spin-offs for the local and national economy. The convention centre, which will be capable of holding 3,500 delegates at one time, is expected to employ 1,000 people in construction, with a further 800 jobs once it's up and running.
Order. Supplementary question, Mark Mitchell.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Supplementary to the Minister for Economic Development. What concessions in harm minimisation and anti-money laundering measures have been agreed to?
Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Mr Speaker, in return for Sky City fully funding the $402 million project costs, the government has agreed to extend Sky City's Auckland casino licence, due for renewal in 2021 to 2048, provided they operate within their licensing requirements. 230 new pokie machines, which incidentally is the same number granted under the previous government for a convention centre 1/4 of the size. 40 gaming tables and 12 gaming tables which may be swapped for automated gaming tables, allowing up to 17% of gaming machines in restricted areas to accept notes of greater value than $20, and the introduction of ticket-in, ticket-out cashless gaming like in Australia. Identification will be required with any amount over $500 as being loaded onto Tito tickets in non-restricted areas. There'll also be voluntary pre-commitment systems, a modelling tool to identify players at risk of problem gambling, and doubling the number of host responsibility staff at the casino.
Supplementary question, Mark Mitchell.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. How does the agreement compare with other convention centre agreements?
Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Well, Mr Speaker, very well. To contrast this agreement with another convention centre deal made under a Labor government in 2001, that deal also involved 230 pokie machines in exchange for a convention centre, but it was a teensy-weensy bit smaller than the current one, in fact, 1/4 of the size. And the interesting thing about that deal, of course, Mr Speaker, was it was struck under the previous Labor government. It did have a number of very strong supporters. One of the most vocal supporters was pleased to see continuing investment in the quality of our tourism infrastructure. That was one Helen Clark. And one of the most silent opponents to that arrangement was the Green Party, who set up 0 petitions against it and made 0 threats to overturn the agreement that Labor set up. Yeah, absolutely pathetic.
Order. Question number 6, Honourable David Parker.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister of Finance. Does he stand by his budget